Okay, so besides diet, there's some other lifestyle factors that you can do to reduce your inflammation. One thing is stress. That's a big inflammatory trigger. So, stress triggers cortisol release, and that is a hormone produced in the adrenal glands. And it's a very helpful hormone when used appropriately, let's say it that way. So, cortisol causes that flight or fight response. And so it's really good when you're in an emergency situation. Evolutionarily, it's when, the cavemen ran across a bear. They needed to get a big squirt of cortisol in order to help fight off the bear or run away from it really fast. It allows your muscles to respond very quickly. But when we have stress every day, like in the modern day society, from just every little thing, one after another, and we have these sustained cortisol levels, it is going to cause some problems in the long term. So even though it's super beneficial for that immediate danger, we want it to go back down and be relaxed in between those kind of situations. When it's chronically high, we're going to end up having this inflammatory pathway being triggered throughout the body consistently. So reducing your stress is going to help reduce your inflammation. A lot of scientific studies have confirmed this link between stress and inflammation, and they say that prolonged or heightened levels of stress can activate some biochemical pathways that will cause an increase in inflammatory molecules. So that has been proven through research as well. Also, getting a good physical activity is great for reducing inflammation. That's been shown in the research. And of course, it helps our mood and just overall well-being. Next, I'd like to talk about some supplements that we can use to help reduce inflammation. There are 3 that I would recommend to start with. So the first one is called Inflammag PX. It's a formula by Restorative Formulations. Now, the main ingredients in this are curcumin and whole turmeric. So turmeric is the whole herb that we use as a culinary spice from India, and curcumin is a compound that's in turmeric. What I love about this formula is that they take the extracted curcumin and combine it with the whole herb turmeric. And now you're getting the benefits of having a very potent formula along with the synergy of all of the other compounds that are in the whole herb turmeric. And this is a very well proven herb to help fight inflammaging. There's a ton of research on it, and it's one of my favorite products because it helps so many other things beyond inflammation. It's kind of a must-have for everybody, especially in modern day society. It also has 2 other ingredients in there which help increase the absorption of the herb. Now, curcumin is known to be very poorly absorbed, and so by adding some other ingredients, it helps facilitate that. So phosphatidylcholine is a good one, and black pepper extract. Both of these have been proven to increase the absorption of your curcumin, and so then you can really get the most out of your curcumin supplementation. So it really makes a difference on what kind of curcumin formula you're using and how much you're going to really absorb and what kind of good anti-inflammatory activity you're going to get from that. So Inflammag PX is my favorite one, and you can find that on my website. I also recommend a fish oil. Like I said, I don't eat salmon, and a lot of people I know don't like that either. And sardines are pretty hard to tolerate for a lot of people. So I like to get a good fish oil in every day to reduce those inflammatory cytokines. So there's a product called EPA DHA Guard made by Perk. Both of those were physician supplement formulas, so they're really high quality. The EPA DHA has the best balance of omega-3 essential fatty acids from those fish oils and really potent levels of EPA and DHA combined. So it's made from a distilled and nitrogen purged for purity, and it keeps it really fresh. That's something you have to really be careful about with omega-3 fatty acids and fish oils especially is they can go rancid very easily. So manufacturers need to be careful about how they make it. And Perk does a really good job of making sure they add this nitrogen to keep it fresh. And lastly, we talked about the gut and how important it is for inflammation, and we need to support the microbiome. And so, of course, this is something that I recommend as one of my top 3 for reducing inflammation. I like a product called Therabiotic Synbiotic, and this is made by Claire Labs. It's a really high dosage. It's 50 billion CFU, so that's a lot for a probiotic formula. You can take some that are less, but a lot of us really need that extra boost because of diet and all the things that affect our microbiome, which I talked about in the previous module. And probiotics can also be really vulnerable to having bad quality and not having any live probiotics left in them. So I really suggest investing in a good formula that you know has good quality. And Claire Labs has one of the best probiotics out there. I've been using them for a really long time, and they're really great quality. And they have a nice range of different probiotics in this formula, which is what you want to find in a probiotic. You don't want to just take 1 or 2 strains because our body literally has trillions of strains. This formula also is what we would call a seed and feed. And that means that it is a combination of prebiotic. It's got a sun fiber in it, which is a soluble fiber, which feeds a good bacteria, very important. And then it's got 7 strains of probiotics. So it really has the best of both worlds all in one place. So it's really easy to be compliant and just take that every day. And you don't have to take 2 products because you really need to feed the good bacteria as well as restore them. Otherwise, they may not survive very well in your gut. So this is a 50 billion per capsule. So you really only need 1 a day. And you might find when you first start taking them, it might make you a little bit gassy or might feel a little bit of gastric distress, but just stick with it because that will go away as your body gets used to it. And if you're feeling that, it's probably a sign that your gut microbe is a little bit weak and it needs that support. So there's more information about those 3 products and those 3 categories on my website, agentix.com. So just a little summary, when we're talking and thinking about inflammaging, we want to imagine it as the hub of the wheel with all the other hallmarks around that. And it's just so key to helping all of the aspects of aging. And so by decreasing inflammation, you're going to support all the physiological processes in your body. So this is a good way to reduce age-related diseases such as arthritis, Alzheimer's disease, osteoporosis, cardiovascular disease, and so much more. So focus on reducing inflammation with those nutrients that I recommended and the diet that I recommended, and support your microbiome, keep your weight in normal range, and making sure you're eating well. And just to recap, it's curcumin, fish oil, and probiotics, plus healthy eating, exercise, and immune support to decrease inflammation. So thanks for listening to this about inflammaging, and we will next be talking about the importance of sleep.